right, we're back. We are back in the studio for the second time doing the Higher Human here with Fleek, and excited to have a great athlete, a great human who I've been lucky enough and fortunate enough to spend time with over the last 5 years. Augusto Mendes, or better known as Tanquinho. And yeah, brother, appreciate you being here, taking the time today. You know, you obviously got a chance to meet DJ.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me. It's a big pleasure to be here. Like I said, we've been know each other for so long.
Yeah.
Now it's been sharing many good memories, right? And it's my pleasure to get to know you more and more and through the years and call you a friend. And also thank you for an invitation.
Appreciate that, man. Yeah. So Tanquinho and I connected through the UFC and through the relationship to Sugar Sean O'Malley, and really is one of the highlights of my career, being able to go to these fights and get time to hang out with this guy. I feel like I always learn a lot about MMA, jiu-jitsu, but also about life. So yeah. So again, man, I appreciate it. But let's start with, how did you get the name Tank? How did you get the name Tanquinho?
Yeah, everybody asks me that. Everybody. It's not a common name, you know?
Yeah.
But Tanquinho, that's my nickname. That's a real nickname. Means little tank in Portuguese, right? And I got that because of my brother. My brother started training jiu-jitsu first. I mean, I was 13, he was 15. So he started doing jiu-jitsu first. Actually, he was 14 and I was 12, but he did for a year. So when he was 15 and I was 13, that's when I decided to do jiu-jitsu. I said, okay, man, I go there, because he was just bugging me. Say, hey, come train. They didn't want to go training before. I want to play soccer in Brazil. Brazil soccer is a huge sport, number one, hands down. And I mean, after a year, he's bugging me to go, and I said, okay, I'll go, just so you stop asking me. And then I went there. He already had the nickname of Tank. He was the real Tank.
Okay.
But he was kind of like chalky on top, like smashing people, looked like a tank. He passed over people, you know, training. And then I got there, was the Tank's brother. That's what I said, oh, that's Little Tank. And then people started calling me Little Tank since the day one, you know. Tanquinho, yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, I love it. You know, I fell in love with the sport, and I never stopped. I've been doing jiu-jitsu now for, let me see, 26 years, I think.
26 years. Yeah. And you are a 6-time world champion.
Yeah, black belt, 6-time world champion.
And how many times gi, no gi?
There was 3 and 3. 3 gi and 3 no gi.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Gotcha.
It's a really good time. I mean, now I'm retired, so I can enjoy.
Yeah.
I mean, the life of a retired athlete, but I mean, it was. I cannot complain. You know, I have my good moments. You know, a great career. Don't regret nothing. So,
yeah. There's so many things we can talk about. So I wanna go back to growing up in Rio and starting because the Brazilian culture fascinates me. And so you grew up in Rio, and are you in the city?
Yeah, I'm the captain. I'm not the captain. Capital of Brazil is Brasilia, but Rio is they have a Rio de Janeiro and the Rio de Janeiro city. Right? They both have the same name. The state is Rio de Janeiro and the city of Rio de Janeiro. So I was on the city, which is the man there from Rio. They have the small cities around, but I was born and raised in Rio, the main city there, you know.
How close to the beach?
My house there, my parents' house there was probably, I would say maybe 20 minutes drive. I mean, with traffic, maybe 30, 35, something like that.
Did you fall in love with jiu-jitsu right away? Did you know it was something you wanted to pursue to the level you did? Or did that take some time?
No, not really. Not as professional. I mean, I just fell in love first with the environment there. Because like I said, I went to the gym. I was a 13-year-old boy, chubby. I couldn't even do a push-up. I was really out of shape. But I went there, like I said, my brother was already there in the gym. He already had a group of friends, all teenagers, you know what I mean? And then when I got there, everybody hugged me. Everybody was welcoming to the gym and to be part of that and not judge me or not making fun of me, not bullying or nothing. It was completely opposite. It was just, hey man, come here, hang out with us. And I mean, my brother had a good group of friends that they were hanging out outside the gym too. You know what I mean? And they were starting bringing me too because I was the new one there and part of the group. So that part was like, oh man, that I never had that. And then started falling in love for that. And I mean, started going to the gym because that thing that was happening, you know. And then with time, it started to loving the sport. Jiu-jitsu is tough. It's a tough sport. It's not easy. But I mean, I don't know. Maybe it was God, but I started to enjoy getting beat up, you know. And then something inside me was just kind of pushing me, driving me to, no, man, I'm gonna do better tomorrow. That guy's not gonna beat me. That I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. And then started putting a lot of more effort in my training. And then, like I said, I started to follow my brother too, because my brother started to, like I said, he was 15 years old, already changing, started to have a better lifestyle, eating clean. I mean, going to work out. And then I started to do the same thing, hopping the bike, doing little weights, until I started going to the regular gym, workout gyms. So I was just kind of changing my life because of that, you know.
Because of jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, it was kind of like a cycle, you know. First it was just because I want to feel love, you know what I mean? And people that was giving me that love. And then after that was, I don't know, it was just something that was driving me to get the best of me every single day, you know. I tell that everybody, I had everything to hate the tournaments. My first tournament, my first experience at 14 years old, the guy submitted me in 1 minute. I went there. I was not scared or nothing. I just didn't have many skills. The other kids submitted me. I left home and I was like, man, but that was tough. And then knowing, not being instructor now for many years and understanding, I have with some of my students, you know, and a lot of times they come to me and say, man, I don't want to compete anymore. I have a really bad experience. And for me, I had a bad experience, but I said, no, you know what? I'm going to do it again. I cannot go there and lose 1 minute and knowing that I can do better. So I was not accepting the fail, you know, and then next one, I did a little bit better. Still losing, but a little bit better. Next one, and I keep pushing until I get, like I said, with all the changes in my life, in terms of dieting, working out, I mean, not playing video games anymore, and more things like that started to help me to becoming, like, from the little kid to start becoming like a teenager to become a man later, you know.
Can you imagine your life, yourself, if you didn't find jiu-jitsu? Have you ever thought about what Tanquinho would be doing now? I know it's, you know, it doesn't matter, but...
Doesn't matter,
yeah.
but well, I just, if that had happened before, I would just hope there was a big soccer player. I'd be a millionaire.
Yeah, right.
At least if I have the same title that I had in jiu-jitsu, it was in the soccer, oh my God.
You had good soccer skills?
Yeah, I believe I would. I believe I would, but I don't know, maybe I didn't have the work ethic to
yeah.
Well, in the soccer that I did
have the work ethic.
But not that back at the time, I was 13 years old. Maybe if you stick there in soccer and I don't know.
It definitely taught you discipline at a young age.
Oh, 100%.
That took you into adulthood.
100%. Especially,
you are today.
Like I said, in soccer, yeah, you can have a bad day, but if your teammates have a good day, your team is still winning. You know? In jiu-jitsu, now it's an individual sport. You have to show up or not.
You're right.
If you show up there, yeah, you have a good day, you win tournaments, and then you know it's just you there versus the other person, and then the discipline is gonna help you through the process, dedication, discipline, and going there and work your ass off to the result, and yeah.
So 14 you started,
Yep.
And how long did it take to get your black belt?
I got my black belt at 21. So I was 21 years old.
So about 7 years.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which was faster, if you're comparing, but within a lot of people, there's some people who got faster than 7 years, but the people got I mean, most of the people get way longer than 7 years, around like 10, 12. But like I said, once I started living that life, I was commitment.
You were in.
I was all in. Training 3 times a day.
3 times a day.
Yeah, 3 times a
Jiu-jitsu
day.
3 times a day.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then, like I said, I was going to school. I still doing school, like finishing my high school there, and went to college. I finished college.
And didn't you do like exercise and wellness or some type of performance?
I did. I mean, I had one guy on the gym there that was kind of my mentor, but growing up, he was the one that structured the gym. And then, like I said, I started training not really young, about like 13, 14. And then around 15, 16, I knew it. I'm going to go there. I'm going to keep that path now. And that guy was the main instructor of the gym that I was training. And then he was graduating physical education in Brazil. He was competing too. He was 10 years older than me. So I was 14, 15. He was 25, 26, 24, 25. He kind of guided me through that. He was taking me to do workouts, going to the gym, and correcting my posture, lifting weights, doing some bunch of stuff. On the time that kids with that age were not doing that too much. You know what I mean? Maybe some were doing, but we're not common to see in Brazil. I mean, the little athletes starting to be athletes. It's not like now, you know?
Yeah.
Starting to focus in strength conditioner or something like that, you know?
Yeah.
So I was really grateful that cross paths with that guy, Marcos, and then he kind of helped me out a lot. And like I said, I started teaching jiu-jitsu because of him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because he was on the gym teaching all day. And like I said, I was going to school, leaving the school, going to the gym. He was kind of training to me, kind of almost like private lessons all the time for free. He never charged me nothing, just to help me because he saw the potential in me. And then after that, I would stick there with his classes, and it was just kind of helper kids here and there. And one day he came to me, "Today you're going to do the warm up." And I said, What? He said, "Yeah, do the warm up. You've been here all day. You know what to do." And then I said, "Oh, okay." So I started doing warm up. And then, he was on the mat, helped me and guiding me, giving me little tips in here and there. Hey, you need to speak a little louder. You know what I mean? You need to talk this way, that way, you know. And I mean, I was 15 years old, you know.
Yeah.
And then 16, 17 was already like controlling class by myself, doing. I mean, so it's crazy to see how the things went, you know.
When was the first time you fought out of Brazil? You competed outside of Brazil in jiu-jitsu. Was it a big tournament?
There was. That was the Pan Ams in 2002. So I was, let me see, I was 18 years old.
Is that the first time you were out of the country?
Yeah, out of the country. Yeah.
Where was that?
That was in Florida.
And did you win? Was that
I got second place. I got second place. So it was the first time. I have some friends that were living in New York. So I flew to New York, spent time with them like for almost a week. And then we drove to Florida from New York. And then went to the tournament, got second place there. And then, I mean, I paid for all my trip. Nobody paid out for me. I was 18 years old. Like I said, all the money that I started saving from my 15 years old teaching class, which was not a lot of money. I mean, they were paying me shit there. But I was saving because I was living with my parents. Didn't have any expense or nothing. So I was just saving. And then I saw the opportunity to go to the tournament. I went to consulate, got a visa, bought a ticket to go. I mean, like I said, I found friends there to stay. And I got second place, and then come back, and I didn't fly again to the United States for 5 years. It was one time in 2002. The next time that I come to the United States was in 2007 as a black belt already.
Did you speak English?
Zero, nothing.
No, zero, yeah.
Nothing. Yeah. Zero. I mean, even when I moved to here, in 2011. I still didn't have English.
What was your perspective, or what, looking back, so you're 18 years old, first time in the U.S., you go to New York. Yep. What did you think of the States? Like, what was did it match it? Was it completely different?
I mean, we see on TV there, like movies, but it's completely different, you know what I mean? The timing, the people, and English. I didn't speak English, so I have a Brazilian friends with me, so they'll kind of help me and translate everything for me. But but just a different culture in the way that people are doing stuff. And I went to New York, which is a big city, and that craziness going back and forth. I was like, oh my God, you know, it was overwhelming with all the information. But I love it. But it was not even past a thought in my mind that one day I was going to live here, you know?
Yeah.
It was just, oh man, that's crazy. I love it. You know? I love everything. I mean, the food, the people, you know what I mean? I mean, I was around the jiu-jitsu people, so they were all kind to me and all nice and treated me really well. And understanding that I didn't speak English or nothing, because I know some people with immigrants, they kind of more rude and you know what I mean? They don't have the patience, you know, but at least my experience with jiu-jitsu people, because that's how we connected, they were all super nice with me. Nobody treats me bad or nothing. So I was blessed to be here for the first time and have a good time. And like I said, I would love to come back later, but I didn't have the money. And again, I had to wait 5 years to come back to the United States to competing.
Yeah. So the first big tournament, you got second. The next time you competed, did you take first?
No.
Or did it took time?
Yeah, like I said, it was 5 years apart. And like I said, in 2002, the first tournament, that was at the Pan Ams.
Yep.
So that's the second biggest jiu-jitsu tournament on the circuit, right? So I went there. I went in Florida, got second place, and then went back to Brazil, training more, blah, blah, blah. And the biggest tournament of the calendar was the Worlds. And the Worlds was hosting Brazil. So I went to the Worlds that year in 2002, and I won the Worlds. So which was really good as a purple belt. I was a purple belt back in the time. But fast forward 5 years later in 2007, they moved the IBJJF, the International Brazilian Federation. They moved the Worlds from Brazil going to United States. So that's why they make the transition to be here, and it's been here since 2007. So 2007 was the first year that they creating they moving the Worlds to here, right? So when I was there, in Brazil, and they moved it, I said, man, I need to go back. I want to compete the Worlds, right? But I went and I lost in the quarterfinals. I didn't even place my second time here. But again, it was a great experience too. I mean, that time I was in California, Long Beach. I mean, we got a loss. I have some friends with me too. Nobody speaking English, but we got a loss on the freeways. We didn't buy a GPS. So I mean, crazy things that Brazilians do, you know, to save money. And we just kind of like, I don't know how we did, man, to be honest. We just follow direction that people told us.
Yeah, MapQuest, you printed out the directions. That's how you used to do it.
Back then.
I remember those times.
Man, that was crazy, man. We were a bunch of crazy people. But like I said, it was a good experience. And coming again to the United States, I mean, I had a good tournament, but I ended up losing the quarterfinals to the guy who was the champion. He won later he won that year, and he won. He was the current champion. He won again. He became 2 times world champion that year, and he won 2 more years straight. So he won 4 times straight.
Mm-hmm.
So that was actually the first time that we fought, and we ended up fighting 7 times in total.
Wow. Yeah.
And then, he won 4 and won 3.
So tell people listening, if they don't know a jiu-jitsu tournament, what does it look like? You're competing multiple times in the same day.
Yeah, we have probably people are gonna understand it more like as the wrestling, right? They have the brackets, and then but in wrestling you go to the losers bracket and you compete again. Jiu-jitsu is single elimination. You're losing, you out, you don't have a second chance. So depending how many people have in a bracket, we're gonna have multiple fights. Normally, if you have 16 people in the bracket, 16, which is not a big bracket, you have 4 fights on the day.
Okay.
Right. If you have 32 people, which is the double, you have 1 more fight.
Mm-hmm.
It goes to 5 fights. And then you double again. Go to 124 people, you have 6 fights. So that's depending. I mean, how much people you have in the bracket, that's define how many matches you're going to have.
So is it ever multiple day, or it's always one day?
All one day. One day, yeah. I mean, it used to be all in one day, but now they kind of change it for the black belts only. They go, the first 2 or 3 matches goes on the Saturday, let's say, and then or either quarterfinals, semifinals and finals on the Sunday, or semifinals and finals on the Sunday. So depending, I mean, it's a little easier now because you don't go 5 straight or 6 fights straight. You go 3-3 or 42. Depending, you have a little break and you don't need to weigh in again. So you weigh in and then competing. So, and that definitely helps.
Yeah.
But it goes, I mean, like I said, it is brutal to your body, you know, because it's hard to make strategy. You don't know who you're facing. You're going to go through, like I said, you have 4 fights on that day. And then you have the bracket, you know the first guy. You look the bracket, you have the potential second guy, but you never know. Everything change.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And then second match, third match, you have sometimes 10, 15 minutes break between one match to another match. So it's tough.
Yeah. What makes you so good at jiu-jitsu?
I mean, that's what I think DJ was saying, man, the discipline that he
Yep.
got when it was, when we started pushing me, and I was never satisfied, you know. I knew it that once I was there training, someone in the world was training more than me. And I always had that thought in my mind, I said, man, if someone's training more, I'm going to wake up like 5 in the morning. I'm going to wake up 6 in the morning. I don't know. I'm going to do one more training. I'm going to do one more drill. I'm going to do strength condition. I'm not going to eat that bad stuff. And I mean, it was always like changing things to try to become the best and not satisfied. Even when I was winning, I was not satisfied. You know, I was going back there and then studying what. I mean, we didn't have YouTube with videos or nothing like that. So I need to go back in my mind and try to remember, I win the match, but how the guy sweep me, how the guy scored 2 points on me, you know. I try to remember, oh yeah, he had a grip here, no. Let me go back to the gym now and try to fix that. If he does that with me, what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna defend now this way. Can I always try to think ahead and never be satisfied, even when I was winning, you know, which is not normal. Sometimes you win and you think everything is good just because we won, and that was not me, definitely not me. You know what I mean? I was always hard on myself, hard in the meaning of being honest. You know, I won, yeah, that's good. I got the first place, but I'm not happy. I know I can do better. I know in training I do better than that. You know what I mean? People score points on me, or the guy almost submit me, or blah, blah, blah. Whatever happened in the match that was not satisfied, that was always driving me and go back and then training more than everybody.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's not, jiu-jitsu is not secret. I mean, you need to train.
Yeah.
Train harder. That's it.
Yeah. So his son is going to start. We were talking about this. What's your advice to a parent that their 6-year-old kid is starting jiu-jitsu?
Well, I would tell you what I do to my son. You know, if I do to my son, I think that's one of the best things, because I love my son more than anything, right?
Yeah.
Don't put pressure on them. Don't put pressure on the kids. Let them have fun, especially like that age, 6, 7, 8. Let them enjoy that. I mean, I see a lot of parents trying to be so paranoid in the beginning, right? Then like, oh, you need to do this, you need to do that. They're being hard on them, and they just freeze the kid, right?
Mm-hmm.
They started hating going to the sport because the parents is putting pressure. Mm-hmm. I go to my son there, and my son carry extra pressure. My son going the mat every time that they're all the parents, oh, that's the professor kids, oh, he's gonna be great. And I said, no, you see, or whatever. He goes there, he loses a goal, give a big hug on him. Yeah, good job, good try. You know what I mean? That was good. Let's play a game. Let's do this. Let's do that. Right? So trying to keep that passion really light, because as a 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 years old, that doesn't matter. If you start learning the martial art as a discipline, self-control, confidence, that's the big values that he's going to carry for the rest of their life. Yep. Maybe they're going to be adult. They don't want to do jiu-jitsu. They don't want to compete. And that's fair, you know. But all those values he's going to have when he's alive, you know. But on the other hand, if he's good and he want to competing, that's the time to push. Okay, now you're 16, 17. Yeah, now we're going. That's what we're going to do. You're doing good. Yeah, let's push now more. Now is the time, because he's going to have the maturity to carry the pressure and understanding more about losing and winning, which in a young age, they don't have it. You know, they don't have.
They just want to win.
Yeah, they want to win, and they feel embarrassing. You know, they feel that disappointed the parents, and the parents made that even harder. Why you did that? Why you lost? Why you tried this? No, I told you. Yeah. You know, and they can just cry like, oh, I'm sorry. And then imagine multiple times that happen, you just break the confidence of your kid. You know. Mm-hmm. So my advice would be just, hey, have fun, son. or daughter, or have fun. Go there, play, win or lose, go give a big hug. Yeah, let's go. Let's have ice cream. Let's do that. I mean, my son he's just 4, about to be 5 years old now. He never competing, and then yet, and we're not gonna put him to compete. Probably in 1 or 2 more years. I'm gonna let he get more maturity. But when he get the time, I'm already have everything in my mind. Hey, you're gonna go to tournament. You're gonna go do your best. Win or lose, you're gonna leave here. I'm gonna buy you a toy. You're gonna do this. You know what I mean? Do your best. And that's what I'm gonna try to make him. You know what I mean? Understand that. You're gonna go there. You should try your best. But if you lose, it's not a big deal. Dad is still here. Mom is still here. Family is still here. Your friends still here, right? So, I think that's the most important advice that I need to give to any parent is. And you see a lot of parents in all the sports doing that. They screaming. Sometimes they try to be an athlete before they were not, and they have that frustration to them, and they try to put their kids to be the next Michael Jordan, the next. You know what I mean? And then they want to be doing that when he couldn't do it, and then they just messing up the whole life of the kid in all aspects. And also, be relaxed with your kid, having fun with him. Create a relationship that when he's sad, he's gonna open up for you and talk about that. You know what I mean? Not just cry and be disappointed. You know what I mean? You should be the security for him. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. One of the things that I enjoy on the fight weeks is getting a chance to observe you being a dad.
Yeah.
And your son, it's cool to watch you talk to him, like the last trip. So I feel it's cool to be able to hear you talk about that as a coach, but then how you are as a father, because I can tell that you're just good with your son. So
yeah, we have, like I said, we have a great relationship, me and my son. I do everything for the kid. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Since young age, I'm there with him, sitting, talking, understanding, try to make the good transition, you know what I mean, to him understanding and knowing that I'm there regardless of what happened. He can talk to me. I'm not gonna be judging. I'm gonna discipline him for sure. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I'm gonna make him understanding that I'm his best friend, and I feel that we have now. He's still 5 years old, but we have that connection. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? When I'm traveling like a week long, like we were, Brandon and I. He called many times crying, Daddy, I miss you, this and that. And I just, okay, that's okay. Tell me your day, Jesus. Try to make he understand. It's a process that is working. And even now, I just told him that I was coming here. He was not still to me. He said, no, Dad, I want to go to you. I said, no, you go to Mommy. Go get ice cream to Mommy. Dad's going to be here. No, Dad, I want to go to you. I said, no, Dad's going to be fine, buddy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Have your time.
You'll be back home.
I'll be back. Yeah, I'll be back. I think he's afraid that he'll leave and not come back. I don't know.
Yeah.
And then, because that's connection that we have, So
like you're his best friend, and that's how it shouldn't be. But you're a parent first. But
of course, yeah.
But you have to know that they can count on you.
I'm ahead of my son in terms of discipline. You know what I mean? A lot of stuff that he knows, and then I tell him, time out, and then he cries, I discipline him, no, you're not going to have this, you're not going to have that. Mm-hmm. Not time to talk, but at the same time, the parents that go there and hug him when he's sad and listen to him, tell me, what are you feeling? What are you feeling right now? You know what they're feeling? And kind of explain to him what it goes. And that's not good to have this kind of feeling, and we can do the other way, and kind of that, So it's not easy, man. You have 3 kids, you know how it is. I have just one. You probably can talk more about that than me about. But that's what I do to mine, and we see some crazy stuff, right, in the world that and I believe that a lot of things happening when they start at that age, young age, that they go through some bad parenting, and they grew up with a lot of hate, a lot of angry, and people do crazy stuff, So I want to make sure my son grew up in a love environment, but he understand that there is discipline and consequence to bad stuff,
Yeah. Do you guys as parents has that been difficult to find that balance of to be a parent to discipline, but then also be a friend and show love, or is that natural?
No, it's always harder. I mean, I think it was more natural for me than my wife because I've been teaching kids since I was 15 years old. You know what I mean? So it was easier to me to discipline them, but you don't have that. I mean, you have the connection of instructor and kid, but they're not your kid. In your order, he leaves. You did what you need to do for the class. You don't have to be the second order, 2 hours a day with the kid. When it's your kid, it's not. It's 24 hours. You're doing that. So it's more mental, but it was natural to me because I know same thing that I was doing in class. I was disciplining kids, but sometimes I was complimenting them. I was helping them. I was just having a good time with the kids, you know. And but with my son, just all the time. So it was easier. My wife, she's better now, but before she was, oh, I feel terrible, mom, just doing this, doing that. He is crying now. I said, yeah, but he's gonna be okay. You know what I mean? He's a boy. He's gonna be understanding, and we are here. You know what I mean? So
there's a thin line between being a parent and a friend when they're that young.
yeah,
You have to also let them know, like, okay, I'm your parent. You got to teach them, like you were saying, the discipline and know there's consequences for their actions. But they also, you can't be too much their friend, you know, because you're still getting them ready for the real world. And that's what I have to tell my girls sometimes, you know. I'm like, hold on, there's like a thin line there.
yeah.
You know, like I was
It's kind of almost like it's giving a little bit more as they grow up and get their maturity, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you feel they're not ready to do more, you just put the rope on. No, wait, you're not ready yet.
I agree.
No, but it's definitely harder. It's definitely hard. It's not easy, especially because we go through our own emotions too. You know what I mean? And sometimes we have a bad day in work, relationships, and everything, and then there's your son or daughter texting you, you know, like, daddy, mom, blah, 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 blah. So it's tough. It's tough.
It is. And sometimes I just have to, I sit down with them and I just talk to them. You know, just let them know that you can come talk to me about anything. Whether I'm having a bad day, one thing that I feel that my father had an issue with was apologizing. When, you know, so if I feel like I took something out on my children and it had nothing to do with them, like you just said, like your day, it got in the way, I tell them, you know, I apologize. You know, daddy was wrong. Been a rough day.
That literally just happened to me today. Yeah. Before leaving here, I was getting ready to come here. My son, I mean, you have the fridge that you can put in the cup and the water comes out, right? So he grabbed the water, he drank a little bit, and he put it on the top of the table. And I passed by and I saw the cup and I drank the water. And he came back, Daddy, where's my water? I said, I'm so sorry, son. I drink the water. I thought you didn't want it anymore. You know what I mean? He said, no, I was going to drink more. I started crying. I said, no, but I'm sorry. So I was apologizing. And I feel like the same. My daddy was never apologizing for nothing.
Yeah,
you know?
My father didn't. So with my kid,
I hugged him and said, I'm sorry, I got a new one for you, you know, and kind of tried to make him understand that it was an accident. I was not trying to be mean to drink his water. Right. I just thought he was done because he done many times, drinking like a little bit and put it there. So, yeah, man.
Like I was telling Brandon, because my son just started football, and he just seemed off. I said, what's wrong, buddy? We're on our way to practice. And he goes, I'm nervous. I said, it's okay to feel that way. But I said, don't think about it. I said, just go out there. We played how many times? I mean, just go out there and do what you do. You know the game. I've taught you. Just go out there and be you. That's all you can do. Sure enough, we got there, talked to the coaches. He just goes out there and coach asked him, you know how to catch? Throw me the ball. Like right on. And it made me feel good because it shows that my son trusts me.
Yes.
You know, and you can tell when a kid trusts their parent or not.
Yeah.
I just told him, don't think about it. Just go out there and know what you know, but still listen to your coach. Don't think that you know everything. Leave that room to learn. You know, don't think that don't go out there acting like you know everything, because you don't. You just know a little bit. But just go out there and do what you do and what you do know. Nice. But still listen to the coach.
That's good advice. Yeah. That's what it should be, you know. Like I mean, I said in my gym, I got a lot of kids, a lot of parents, and they can see through the kids' eyes. And sometimes the parents see right there, and the kids is pointing here. You can start like looking to the parents, almost kind of looking for a confirming something or I don't know. There's a bunch of thoughts that the kid's going there, or they feel that the parents might be pressuring him. Who knows what they've been telling the kid, hey, you need to win all the rounds, or that's going to happen, or you're going to lose this or that. You know what I mean? The kids kind of feel that, you know what I mean? And before he even started, he's scared, he don't want to try. You know what I mean? That is some case that I have to go to some parents and say, just let me coach your kid.
Yeah.
Let's relax. You know what I mean? Don't put the pressure on him. You know what I mean? When we get the sparring time, you know what I mean? If you can, go walk around. Go walk around there. The gym, I have a big gym. Go there, look to the other mat. Don't be there because every time the person's there, you're there, the kid, they have a bad performance. When there's not that, have a good performance.
Good performance.
You know what I mean?
So, I think it's so important for kids to know they're loved regardless of the outcome.
Yeah.
So you teach hard work and you praise for their effort, not for just winning.
Right.
Because if a kid starts to associate winning with being loved by their parents, that's a dangerous path.
It is.
Because you're not always going to win. And then you'll get kids that will probably rebel, will not want to participate in sport, or they'll just end up with the wrong identity, right? It's like the classic growth mindset versus fixed in psychology, where it's you know, as a non-parent, but as a coach, is praising effort, praising how hard they work, how hard they try, not just did you win.
And also, I mean, at least in jiu-jitsu, I mean, it's not official statistic, but it's just like looking overall, all the kids that were like great competitor as young age, since 5, 6 years old, they were the champion of that division, and they kept winning until they become adults. You know what I mean? That's really small percent.
Right.
All the ones that were like the champion of that age, when they got up to the age that now you need to become the old, they stopped training. Get burned out, right? That's just like few people that were the champion as a kids, and they still the champion right now.
Yeah.
Competing, they still really good. They become professionals, and but you count in your hand how many kids were that. You know what I mean? And if you see how many kids in jiu-jitsu, in every gym, that's a big statistic to you to pay attention. I mean, you push your kid, you want your kid to be the world champion as a kid. I mean, you don't have world championship as a kid, but you want to be the best there and win every single tournament. Yeah, that's cool. You're pushing that hard. When he's 10 or 15 years old, he's going to be burned out.
He's going to say, I don't want to do that anymore.
He said, man, I've been doing that for 10 years, man.
And that's what I always tell Brandon. I'll have my kids try something different, but if they like it, then we can keep going. You know, I'm not going to force my children to do something that they don't want to do. All right, you don't like that? On to the next thing. Let's find what you like. But I also want them to tell me, like, what do you want to do? Not just because I didn't make it with basketball. I didn't just say, all my kids have to go to basketball.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
You were saying, you know, you didn't live out a dream that you wanted to have, and
100%.
you want to push it onto your children. I feel that's wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
But that's what a lot of
they
parents
find the passion. Like I said, my son, I mean, he's been in the gym since he's 3 months old. You know what I mean? He started training 3 to 4 years old, and then he go there. Some days I come to him, he loves. He want to go every class. I said, hey, you want to sit down today? No, just watch. He said, no, Dad, I want to do it. I said, okay, cool, go there. Again, like, pushing him to, hey, you have to do it. You have to do this. If one day he comes to me, Dad, I don't want to do today. Yeah, let's come here. Let's watch it today. He's gonna be in the gym regardless. You know what I mean? But he don't have to go every session. Like I said, I'm not putting him to compete yet. I don't think he have the maturity yet to understand about the environment that's a tournament. I've been bringing him to some tournaments to watch some of the other kids competing, but he's still not understanding. I mean, the enemies. I mean, environments. There's craziness, people, and really, literally try to hurt each other. You know, and I don't think he's ready yet. And again, even if he gets ready and they go there and lose, I'm gonna still be there. That's fine. He skip some, right? So he's just need to kind of play with that, because I don't want my kid give up jiu-jitsu now. I want to have that the rest of his life, but not as a competitor if he don't want to. I wanted to use that as a lifestyle to protect himself, to use all the values that jiu-jitsu is gonna give to him. Maybe he's gonna be a doctor or a lawyer or YouTuber, whatever he's gonna be. But
nowadays,
nowadays YouTuber, yeah, but who knows what he's gonna be? But he's gonna carry those values to I mean, step up and defend himself, or a friend, or I mean, put out. I mean, we never know.
Mm-hmm.
You have that confidence, and that's my biggest goal for my son and most of my students. I know how hard it is to be a competitor, especially on the sport, and I know what if he gets there, the time they need to work harder, he's gonna need to, open up a lot of stuff. Let a lot of stuff happen. No party, no drinking, no. I miss many birthdays and parties or stuff with my friends and my family because I was just focused on my tournaments, And then, like I said, I don't regret. That put me what I'm in now. And I know for those kids, if they want to do that, they're gonna go through the same thing. It's not gonna be an easy path. Like I said, someone in the world is gonna be training more than that person, and I guarantee it's better to cry later with the medal. Understand that you suffer, but that worth it. Then you're crying because you didn't push enough. You didn't.
Yeah.
Did your best.
Tanquinho, have you ever had to use jiu-jitsu to defend yourself in the real world, in the outside of the gym?
To be honest, not.
Yeah.
I had a few moments that the situation present for me. But like I said, that's the beauty of jiu-jitsu. I never was in a situation that was a life-threatening that I have to do it, right? Thank God, never need to use that. But I have situations that people confront me. They try to push me to fight, and like I said, I have that confidence that I know what I can do, and I have and that's one of the things jiu-jitsu give to you. You just look to the person, hey man, your lucky day today, buddy. I can walk out, so you can have whatever, or on the traffic, or I had an episode on the gym that I was at the gym. I think I told you, right? I was at the gym, went there to the cable, and nobody was using it. I went there, started working the cable to put it up, and one guy came all the way to the other side, jacket, and well, I'm here. I said, well, nobody was here, but that's okay. I'm here, I'm there, I'm doing both, blah, blah, screaming to me.
It don't work that way.
And I said, man, I can leave, but just, you don't need to talk to me like that. And he said, what are you going to do? You want to go outside? And then when I looked to him, I said, no, man, you can have the cable, you good, buddy, you're a lucky day. Boom. And they turned my back and left,
Yeah.
I
think I'd be worried if I'm a big dude and I walk up to somebody and they just laugh at me. I'm like,
yeah, I told him,
this
man.
guy alone.
I don't know, but he was confident, man. But
the bigger they are, the harder they fall.
Exactly, but I like I said, I knew it. Like I said, in my mind, you have a lot of thoughts that you need to go. Like that's my profession. Back at the time, I was a professional fighter too. You know what I mean? If you do anything with that guy in the parking lot, if he's not really a life-threatening, attacking me or nothing, I don't have to.
Right.
I'm deciding that moment that I don't want to go to that path because I will pay the consequence later. It's not him. He's going to sue me. If I go to jail, I have family. There's a bunch of stuff. I have a gym, I have a reputation. So I said, well, you can have it, buddy. There's all the cable on the other side. They go there.
Yeah. But you're the bigger man in that situation. Yeah. I love that you told him that you don't have to talk to me that way, or that,
of course,
because you're teaching him a lesson without having to beat him up.
Exactly. Like I said, I feel that that's education. Some people, I'm not rude with people. I try to give the people what they give to me. But the person comes and talk to me like that, I'm gonna say, hey, you don't need to talk to me. I'm not talking to you that way. You know what I mean? You need to respect it. But he keep escalating. I said, okay, I don't have to stay here talk to you right now. You know what I mean? I can leave. Right? It would be different if you're attacking me there.
Yeah.
But again,
it was his lucky day. He doesn't know. Maybe he'll listen to this. He'll be like, I knew I got away with one that day.
In my mind, I swear to God, I went to the different cable. In my mind, I was just thinking, man, God, please make that guy want to do jiu-jitsu and make him go to my gym. That's all what I want.
He walks in the door.
Bring him on
he comes to the door, he comes there, look at me, and like, oh, look, it's you. I said, yeah, want to do a trial class, but
come on.
You know what I mean? But
here, just sign this waiver first.
Yeah, no, of course. We do
this waiver.
It could still happen.
But of course, if more than I want to beat him, I'm a human too. But in that moment, I wanted him to go there just to realize that was his luck day. Yeah. You know what I mean? If he gets on jiu-jitsu, I want to do jiu-jitsu. I'm just fucking strong. I'm the best of what. And gets there, and they see the same guy that he's screaming. He's the instructor, and then a black belt. And then, I mean, of course, most of the guys who pass to my gym, they see all my medals, all my titles, everything. They see everything there, right? So they get there and see, oh, that guy is all that. And then you're going to look to me and say, oh, fuck, man, I could get beat up bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
quiet, calm ones you have to watch at the end.
Yeah,
of the day.
and with cauliflower ear.
Yeah, cauliflower ear.
I know how to battle.
It's not that bad, but I would have looked because I would have looked.
Yeah.
Like, hold on.
I mean, those days now I'm going to the gym. Normally I go to EOS, right, to work out. Sometimes I'm there working out. Some come to me, man, you should go show a coach.
Yeah.
I mean, I said, oh yeah, we there.
Yeah.
I have one guy bring out the thing Instagram. I said, man, is that you? I said, yeah, man, that's me. But
Yeah.
it's funny. Sometimes it happens.
Yeah. So let's transition to you getting into MMA,
Yes.
because I pretty sure I know, but I mean, you fought in the UFC, right? The first time, probably before I ever met you, I was at UFC Phoenix. I don't remember what number that was when you beat Frankie Saenz.
Yeah. It was a fight night. I don't remember
Yeah.
exactly which fight night, but it was a fight night card.
So you're a multiple world. You won one world championship after the UFC or multiple?
I won. Let me see. It was 30. I won two more.
Two
after.
more. Yeah.
Two more. I mean, one was before UFC, but I was already doing MMA. One before UFC.
Yep.
And one after.
Yep. So you got into UFC. You knew you wanted to start doing that, and you weren't throwing punches. You're just a jiu-jitsu guy.
Yeah, like I said, I did the transition to MMA, being the current world champion, right?
Mm.
So like I said, we talk about the other guy that he beat me on the first worlds in the United States. But like I said, years later, I mean, we faced each other many times, and I win some, he wins some. But that year when I made the transition to MMA was the year that I won. I mean, all the big names in jiu-jitsu, and I beat that guy, and I beat the other guy who was the champion too. So the two biggest featherweights of all time, is still the all-time featherweights of all time on black belt. So I beat both, and I had beaten both before too, but to win the world championship as a black belt, so I beat both on that year, and I became the current world champion.
So you competed in jiu-jitsu at 45?
Now in jiu-jitsu, you make weight and you compete right away. So I was competing 154.
54.
That's a 70 kilos.
That's featherweight?
Featherweight.
Okay.
154 with the gi.
Yep.
So it probably was like 150, and you put the gi, it was 154. But like I said, when I beat those guys, I was already training MMA for 6 months.
Okay.
Right? And then, like I said, back in the time, I moved it to the United States, end of 2011. I got here, no much training, no high-level training partners, especially compared to what I had in Brazil. In Brazil, I have like a big competition team with many black belts, all competing, all placing, big tournaments. And then I ended up moving to the United States, getting here. I didn't have nothing, right? So starting competing again, and then I have some good results, some bad results, but I knew that I need to do more. I said, man, I need to get more training. I need to get something going, because just lift weight and have one jiu-jitsu training a day, which people are not that skilled, it's not going to help me. I mean, it was good. They would help me, but not enough. And then that's when I started thinking about MMA. And then I have one friend, a student, he was doing MMA at the MMA lab. And then he told me, man, like the training room there and the MMA practice is insane. They have like 30, 40 guys, I mean, all levels. Back in the time, Ben Henderson was the UFC champion too. So you have a lot of good training, a lot of wrestlers. Not jiu-jitsu though, but good athletes, you know. And then I said, well, maybe jump in there just to get a extra training in terms of as a bodies, you know, to push me to. It's gonna be a no-gi, but I just need someone to push him, you know. And then I went there, talked to John Crouch. He opened up the doors for me. He said, oh, yeah, do it here. But I was not even thinking of doing MMA. I was just trying to think of do session that was going to push me. And I used that condition to my jiu-jitsu competition.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but like I said, in 6 months that I was training there, I started to like it, you know what I mean? Having good performance in the training room, started doing sparring. I said, man, fuck, I like that. You know what I mean? Maybe I should do it. And then in the beginning of 2013, I won the tournament in June, but in the beginning of January, I said, you know what? I'm going to go. I'm going to compete in one more world championship. Win or lose, I'm going to go full to MMA after that. I'm not even think about I've been doing jiu-jitsu for so long, and let me just do one more words because I already set that goal for me. But I'm gonna go to MMA after that, and then start training MMA and train doing the jiu-jitsu competitions. And I won the world championship. After that, so I was the current world champion also. That was even better because it opened up more doors for me in terms of going to MMA. It was hard to find the opponents. A lot of people pull it out, and I don't want to fight the black belt world champion. But I mean, I won 5 fights, and I made to the UFC. You know, I didn't have many of the people weren't willing to fight me outside UFC. So when I was 5-0, and I went to UFC, and that's how I started my career. Then.
So did you turn pro right away, or did you?
I did one amateur. I did one amateur,
and then 5 pro, and then UFC.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, the amateurs, I didn't want to do the amateur, to be honest. Like I said, I was already a black belt world champion. But like I said, the coach there, Crouch, he said, man, you should do amateurs, a cage fight. You never done before. I said, yeah, but I have, probably 500 mats in my back. You know what I mean? I know it's a jiu-jitsu mats, but I know I'm gonna handle that. I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna be okay. I don't know if I feel bad for the other kid. I mean, I don't want to hurt the other kid.
Right. What was your first MMA fight like? Did you submit?
30 seconds.
30 submission.
30 seconds. Yeah, I took him down, mount, and choke. 30 seconds. And the promoter came to me on the backstage. He said, "Man, please don't hurt the kid. I mean, it was really hard to find someone to fight you. Just go there." I said, "Well, I'm not trying to hurt him, but if you try to hurt me, I'm gonna hurt you. You know,
Right.
It's a fight. I mean, I would try to finish fast, but it's a fight. I don't know. I mean, but look at the kid. I knew he was a little kid. I mean, he's young and starting his martial arts career. I didn't want to like punch his face, broke his nose. I just wanted, hey, I'm gonna use my jiu-jitsu. I mean, high guard, block, take him down, finish fast. But I knew, I said, man, like, I cannot be fighting amateurs, you know what I mean? I need to go pro, and and also, like, I was already 30 years old. I was not younger. I'm not trying to, I just want to see how far it would go. And that's it. So I went to pro next, and a few months later, and I submitted the kid fast too. So
5 fights in 2 years?
2 years, yeah, I got 5 fights.
Did you get tested at all?
I mean, my last 2 matches was good guys. And one guy was like me. He was 4-0, and it was 4-0. You're supposed to be one of the good prospects coming up too. I mean, good body, strong wrestler. You know what I mean? And I won the second round by TKO. I took him down, and this one I punched a lot. His face, elbow, his face, and then he was all just trying the referee stop it. And but it was a good test. I mean, I felt good, but I know competition is different when you get it there. We've been with Sean so many times. You know how it is. And I knew that too. I mean, going to the match, going to the fights is a different things that could happen on the match. But at the same time, in the training room, I was trying to like a high level guys too, and they was having really good performance. So I was confident going to the fight. I think my big ask for me was dropping the weight. The weight was for me was always brutal because in jiu-jitsu, like I said, it was fighting 155, and then it was walking around like 165. So I had to diet 10 pounds to compete in jiu-jitsu. MMA, I was fighting 135, but the win was a day before. But it's still, for 65, the 30 pounds cut every single time, you know?
I know that you told me, we talked about some of those stories. Some of those weight cuts were brutal, but like which one was the hardest? Your hardest weight cut?
I mean, my UFC debut was really, really, really harder. And it was the only time that I didn't make weight.
Yep.
But there was a short notice fight.
Yeah.
Right, so I got a short notice fighting because I was going, the whole story was going to fight it for Legacy. That was the event I was fighting before. And it was fighting for the title on Legacy. So I was doing the camp. Everything was going well. Dropping weight. I was probably around 150 already dieting. And then someone got hurt in the UFC. They have a short notice fight. Want to take it? And I said, yeah, I'm in shape. I'm good. I'll take it. And then I signed the contract. The next day, I was going to do one more hard session just to lose more weight because it was a 5 days notice, but I still have 15 pounds to lose. I said, well, I'm to lose like 2 pounds today. One more hard one. After that, I tried to cut the water. I was doing a jiu-jitsu training, and the guy fell over my rib and boom, cracked my rib. And then I couldn't even breathe. I was holding, and then I said, fuck it, now, man, I just signed the UFC. I'm fighting 4 days.
Wow.
What should I do? And then I talked to the coach. I was undefeated too, and said, well, I would decide to not do the fight. So I had to call the UFC, tell them, hey, I'm not fighting. I know you guys signed me short notice, but unfortunately I got hurt. I don't want to step in hurt. And I was expecting them to cut me right away, because they signed me to replace someone that got hurt, and I got hurt in 1 day. You know.
Was it a 1-fight contract?
No, it was a 4 fights contract, but they do whatever they want. You know what I mean? They can change it. I mean, I would understand why they would get mad. Fuck, I signed the guy to help me because someone got hurt and the guy got hurt. Fuck, no, I cut you now. You know what I mean? But that was not the case. They said, oh, okay, cool. Just sit down and we're not cutting you. That's fine. And then, like I said, ribs take a while to recover. So I was about a month without training. And then again, my weight went up. I went back to 65, 67. And then once I started to feel good, started hitting the gym to lift weight again, I said, well, it's not hurting again. So I messaged the matchmaker saying, hey, I'm feeling good now. I'm going to start training again now. And I would like to have a match in 2-3 months. Have a fight, because that's... And, I mean, getting back to the time too, I pulled out of 2 fights, right? I was fighting for the legacy that I didn't do because I let it go to go fight in the UFC, and they got hurt in the UFC. So 2 fights that I didn't get paid. And that was one of my beginners here in the United States. I was kind of broke too, didn't have money. So I lost 2 checks that I was going to get. So a month later, I started getting really tiny money to. I said, fuck, I need to fight. So I messaged the matchmaker, hey, if you can give me a match in 2-3 months, I'll be ready. I'm going to start training again. And that's why he came to me and said, hey, just get ready, because your first fight is going to be a short notice. I signed you to do short notice. I'm going to put you to find a short notice. I'm not going to give you 2-3 months training. And I was like, fuck, what? I was trying to have, it was not my fault, but I said, no, that's it. And then I got really mad, but I said, fuck, man. And then like 1-2 days later, another guy pulled it out, got hurt. And then I messaged him, that was my fault. I messaged him, hey, that guy put it up. You told me you need a short notice fight, put him in now. And he did. He put me to fight. And then again, I went to fight. That was my hardest cut. You know what I mean? Because I was 165, 167. I need to drop to 135, 5 days notice, without training for over a month.
Yeah.
So, really problem.
Didn't have a nutritionist.
Didn't have nutrition. Didn't have nothing. I mean, it was crazy. I just did because I needed money, to be honest. And it was really down in money. And I said, well, fuck, if you want a short notice, I fuck do a short notice now, I don't care now. I was not even, I didn't even know my weight, to be honest. After I talked to him, he said, okay, you got to fight. Send you the contract. I went check my weight. I was like, fuck, that's going to be a tough cut. And that was the worst for sure.
Yeah.
I literally couldn't stand up. Teino was there with me. Teino was on my corner of the match, on the fight. And I literally couldn't stand up. People were carrying me. I stopped sweating as a 142.
Yeah.
So I didn't make
nothing left. Yeah.
And I tried. I mean, when I talked to him, I said, hey, can you do 145? Because a short notice. He said, no, 135. Can you do carry weight 140? He said, no, it's going to be 135. I said, okay, cool. I take it.
Yeah.
And they didn't make it, But that was really brutal. That was. I remember.
Who was that against?
Cody Garbrandt.
Wow, yeah. You fought some really good people in UFC.
That was my debut, and I lost the fight, of course. I mean, I was not thinking. I said, man, I was fucking crazy. We're not training hard, heavy. I mean, my weight cut was like terrible. I couldn't even talk.
Give people an idea what that feels like. That a weight cut.
You're literally dying.
Yeah.
You're literally dying, and I mean, you feel heart rate going so fast, and then I mean, you don't have saliva. You don't have. I mean, nothing. You just can't talk. That one, I couldn't talk. My eye was all like rolling. I was like, man, I didn't have energy to stand up. I remember we going through the elevator, you know what I mean, on the hotel to go to the lobby, to go to the place, and I couldn't even stand up on the elevator. I was sitting down, and we got it down the law. People would carry me.
Yeah.
And back at the time, the weigh-in was
Night.
in the nighttime, optional. So I have just 24 hours to recover. Backstage, I remember I was lying down on the floor, and they kind of lined all the fighters to go to the front of the stage to the face-off. And then I was lying down, and my opponent was in front of me, shadow boxing, laughing. I was like, "Fuck, just give me water, please."
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was your first UFC, and then after that was
There was Frankie in Arizona.
okay. Yeah, and that was a better cut.
Yeah, that one was I was in Australia doing a tour of seminars. I think it was around November. I was training, not a lot, but I just started training the gym again. I had the ACL surgery on my knee, so I was kind of just getting back really light. Probably around 5 months of my surgery training, and then I was in Australia doing a tour of seminars, and I got the email that they're going to do the UFC in Phoenix, and they offered me the fight, and I said, yeah, I could take it for sure. The fight was going to be in January, so I would have 2 months training. The only issue would be my knee, because I just had the ACL surgery, which took me like 5 months to training, but it was, like I said, it was a good moment of my life. In terms of taking care of myself, eating good. I was heavy, but not a heavy to eating shit, heavy eating clean. That helps too, And then I just changed my tickets in Australia, flew back to Arizona, started my camp right away. Have a good camp, good dieting. I didn't have nutritionists still, but I mean, again, go back to my beginner jiu-jitsu that we use the discipline. I dial into that fight, and I said, man, that guy that lost the other fight, the short notice fight, that was not me. I made a lot of mistakes there, taking the fight short notice, being heavy, having the injury. That one, if I lose it, because the guy's gonna be better than me, I'm gonna pay the price to the gym, go there, training harder, dieting, not skip nothing, and let's see what happens. And I mean, I show up that night and won.
Yeah,
it was a great match.
If I remember correctly, you struck a lot in that fight, right?
Yeah, I always tried to fall in love with striking.
Yep.
And he was a D1 wrestler, so it was not someone easy to be taken down. And I knew that.
Yeah.
I mean, I took the fight. I said, well, I know it's not going to be easy to take him down, but I mean, I'm okay to strike. I'm not scared to striking. And then fight was mostly striking, and then I was winning most of the exchange. I took him down a few times. I just couldn't hold him down. He was able to get back to the feet, but he didn't take me down or nothing. So it was a great fight, back and forth. We all fight the night.
Yeah.
And like I said, I always believe in the plans of God. Like I said, I literally was going to the match, to the fight, still really broke, no money. And then I didn't know if you were going to win the fight or not. I didn't have money on my bank account to pay the next rent, And then I was like, oh, fuck, I'll fight and see what happened. And then I won the fight and I won the bonus, which, when I saw that, was, oh my God, that was a big relief in my life. And
yeah.
And with the initial money, I'm sure, like, after paying the tax and everything, but with that money, that's I used to open my first gym.
Yeah.
Because I was already thinking ahead. I know I can, if I just use the money for this, that's going to be like going fast. You know what I mean? And then I'm again the same situation. And I know I have one thing that a lot of people don't have. I have the skills to pass the knowledge of jiu-jitsu to other people. And I knew, like, my qualification in Arizona, you don't have any instructor with my qualification in terms of titles, and no one. And I said, well, now I have the money. I can invest myself. I never want to have a partner. Someone give the money, pay, and I need now doing the hard working, but I need to give a percent of the person for just because I was fucking broke. I said, no, I'm waiting. One day I'm going to have the money. You know what I mean? And that came to me, and there was a moment that I said, well, I'm going to open the money, open the gym, use the money, invest myself. And they paid off,
And now you fight a academy since then, and you've grown it. Your academy now, it's beautiful. It's a lot of square footage. Yeah.
I started like my first one that he opened, it was like 2,000 square feet, really small. And then 3 years later, we were growing. We moved for a 4,000 square feet. And then 4 more years, we're moving out to the one that we are now. We have a 13,000 square feet. Oh, wow. So it's a big academy. God's been blessing me. And I said, I mean, I was investing in myself too and believing that we can do it. And that's what I've been doing my whole life. Trusting, like I trusting my instincts, my skills, you know what I mean? And then again, now I have my wife with me, you know, she helped me so much to going through that behind the scenes, you know what I mean, and doing all that stuff too, helped me to grow the gym even more, you know. And now we are in a great spot, great students. I'm so blessed to have my students. The people that come in my life and literally, I could ask for better people, you know. Mm-hmm. In that whole time, like that's when I met Tim, Sean, you know what I mean, and then you. So I'm so blessed.
Yeah. What's one of the craziest stories you have of competing? I know a little bit. I know we've talked. You told me the Russia story. Like, is that the you competed in Russia, right?
Yeah, I did a few one in Russia. Remind me which one. Was
it the one where it was? I mean, what's kind of the craziest experience you have competing in jiu-jitsu or in MMA?
I mean, I mean that one in Russia. I had one in Russia that I was competing there. I'm trying to remember. I was competing for the 145 division. I think it was that 145. So I did some super fights on that way to Tidan. That was okay. They were like a good organization there, paying a lot of money in cash, which was really good.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, but they were going to do like a GP, right? It's like a tournament format with the 8 guys. And then if you win every round, you're going to make way more money, right? If you submit, you make extra money. And then they were doing like fight of the night, more money. So it was all extra money that in the end you could like, oh my God, that's a good money. Mm-hmm. So, but they invited me to do that tournament, but I was going to do UFC fights. I have a UFC fight scheduled. And I said, oh man, it's going to be same weekend, you know what I mean? And then again, I was already focused on MMA at that time. I said no for them. And then I ended up getting hurt, not fighting the UFC. A few months later, they invited me to do another GP, but a 132 division. So I was fighting 143, 145. They asked me to go 132. Mm-hmm. And then I said, well, fuck, I fight 135. 132, I think I can make it 3 more pounds.
Jiu-jitsu or MMA?
Jiu-jitsu. Yep. And I said, I'll go.
That's a big cut for you.
Exactly.
You're Tank. You're the Teino, but...
That's the mistake. You know, I fucking got in Russia.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I thought before because all the weight is in kilos. They give you in kilos. Mm-hmm. So I didn't translate to see what it was in pounds. And then I thought it was 134. I said, wow, in kilos, I think that's around 134. I fight 135. Yeah, I can make it. But when I got it in Russia, one American guy told me, no, fuck, he's a 132. I said, oh, fuck. So I again have a really bad cut. Not bad cut, but like hard to one, right? Yeah. Like I suffered to make the weight, but I did. And then fight day, and that's kind of the funny story. Fight day, I was not feeling good. Like most of my cuts like that, and my stomach was always a mess, diarrhea. So I was in the locker room. In jiu-jitsu, you put everybody in the same locker room, right? Like the guys that you're fighting, they see right there, or the one here, and they fucking have diarrhea, sit in the corner, not feeling good. And they see the guys that I'm going to be fighting, like drilling, jumping, strong. I said, oh, fuck, it's going to... And then I said, man, I don't know if... In my mind, I was just thinking, like, fuck, I need the money. And then later, I was there sitting, and then my belly started, like, moving. I said, fuck. I didn't want to poop it right there, but I said, man, and there's just one little restaurant in front of everybody. I said, like, now everybody's going to know that I have a diarrhea, man. Fuck, I don't give a shit.
Oh, it was in the open?
No.
There's a bathroom, but you had to go in there.
But on the side, yeah, but you can hear everything.
I've never been to Russia.
Yeah, but I just went there and then, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I made the show when I left there. I washed my hands. Everybody saw a lot. But the funny thing, I went there and I fucking won the tournament.
There you go.
You know what I mean? I won the
Hey,
tournament.
won.
How'd you feel when you were competing? You still feel crappy?
I mean, better. I think once the adrenaline goes,
Yeah. And you made
I just-
132.
I'm on the 132. I mean, I probably on the fight day I was 150.
Yeah.
But at 150, I mean, not holding food or drink, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And maybe I was heavier than most of the guys there because the guys there were like natural 43, 44, 40, maybe 45, some of the guys. But I was a little heavier, but like I was not feeling that strong just because I was not holding food or
Yeah.
drink.
Who went out there with you?
Nobody.
You were solo.
Nobody, yeah.
Yeah, wow.
That was crazy. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah. So that's all some of the crazy experience that you go there and then
Yeah.
what's that? I have a diarrhea before, like 10 minutes before the match, but I mean I got lucky too. I got first fight submission fast. I actually got submission of the night, fast one submission of the night, extra 5K on the first match, and then second match I fought the guy who was the favorite on the division because that was not my division. I was on the above division, and that guy that I fought in the semifinal, he was the guy who was winning everything. So he was my second match. I knew that was going to be the toughest one. And then that format that he was using, Jiu-Jitsu format, was kind of MMA format by round. So they would judge by round. So they have 3 rounds, 5 minutes each round. And then you win 1 round, or if you win 2 rounds, you just cannot be submitted in the 3rd round.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So this guy, I won all 3 rounds. You know what I mean? But 3rd round I played safe for sure because I was already winning the 2 rounds. And then right there I knew, I said, man, I have just 1 more and I feel good. I mean, I didn't feel good, but I mean the worst guy already passed it, so fuck, now I'm gonna make the money, you know.
Yeah. Did you compete in Abu Dhabi? Did you go?
I did.
Yeah.
I did Abu Dhabi. I won two world titles in Abu Dhabi.
Okay.
Jiu-Jitsu world titles in Abu Dhabi. And then in the Abu Dhabi, I mean, I have a lot of good memories in Abu Dhabi, you know. And we just collect 1 more, right? When we went to Del Sean.
Yep.
But Abu Dhabi was the first place that I won my world championship.
Okay.
It was the first in Abu Dhabi, and then that's when for the first time I beat the guy who was the current world champion, at the black belt. So that was, I mean, I was always placing before in the tournaments, placing second, third, win some tournaments, but not the biggest ones. That was the first biggest one that I beat the guy who was the man of the division. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then right there, that's why everybody started to look to me. Oh my God, he's on the mix, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then I came back 2 years later, won again there. So every time that I went to Abu Dhabi was just, I don't know.
Was that your last world championship or no? Because
No,
you
no,
won.
no. That
you
was
won
my
at 36 or 38.
I won once at 36.
36. That's
that
your
wa-
last one.
Yeah, that was the last one. That was in California. That was
Yep.
California. That was the ADCC in California. I mean, they're considered the Olympics of the grappling. It's a no-gi grappling, and every 2 years.
Mm.
And there was, after my whole career, like I said, I was 36 years old. I was already, just focused on MMA. Not competing in Jiu-Jitsu for a few years now. So we are now in 2019. So I think my last Jiu-Jitsu tournament was 2015 or 16.
Mm.
So I was in 2019 already, just fully focused on MMA. And but that ADCC, the event, like I said, the Olympics of the grappling, it was the only title that I didn't have in my whole career. All the other titles I won, big, small, everything I had all, but that one I didn't. And then it kind of bugged me too. I said, oh man. And then that's when, I mean, the only way to fight that is if you win any trials or if you got invitation. So it's a 16-man bracket. So they have like around, I think, 8 trials around the world. And then if you win trial, the 8 guys go there and they have 8 more invitation. And they invite me. They've been invited me a few times before, but I never win. I placed 3rd in one time. But this one, I said, man, I might be now or never, you know, because I'm 36 years old. I'm focused on MMA. I didn't have any fight or nothing, but I said, I'm going to train for that one. I'm going to do everything. I got a nutritionist for the first time in my whole life at 36 years old. It was a tough guy. And that event, you need to make weight 3 days. Right? So make weight Friday, Saturday, and compete Saturday, and Sunday again, and compete Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
So that way I was dialed in too and training harder. I think it was probably my whole life, that was the best shape of my life.
Yeah. And you're competing, I'm assuming, competed against guys that are 25?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
yeah.
I,
30.
like I said, and again, going back in the history, remember we were talking about the guy that in my first world championship here in the United States, he beat me. He was the current champion.
Mm-hmm.
And they told us we ended up fighting 7 times. He won 4 and I won 3. That tournament, 2019, he was already retired, but his son made to the final and they fought his son in the final.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
Yeah.
And they beat his son in the final. So
That sounds like a movie. We need to we need to pitch this movie, Tank.
Right?
Right?
So I remember they're going to fight his son, he was young too, probably 20, 19, 20, I'm not sure.
Mhm.
And then, I mean, doing a full cycle. You know what I mean? I followed his dad. His dad was in his corner.
Wow.
I now fight the son, the biggest event possible in the world. That was his debut on the tournament. He made to the final. He was new black belt coming in. And then from me, I mean, it was just, I mean, nothing. I mean, I love those guys. His fighter was so respectful to me. We shared great moments. Like I said, many battles before. I won some, he won some. But
Brazilian guy?
Brazilian guy, yeah. The destiny put it to me, find the biggest tournament possible, finding his son in the final.
That's
and
cool.
when he reached the biggest stage possible at such a young age, you know.
Is the son still competing?
He's still competing, yeah.
Yeah,
He still won the
super
best right now in
high
the
level,
division.
yeah.
He still won the best. He's still in the division. But I won by points. And I remember, 30 seconds left. I was already winning by 3-0. And we started to... And that's a long match. It was 20 minutes match.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember looking to him. And he was trying to just look to him. Man, I know you're trying, but the title is mine. I was waiting for that for a long time, buddy.
Yeah.
Sorry, but
You got it.
that's my time
That's
now.
cool. What are you most proud of in your career as a competitor?
As a competitor, of course, any tournament will make you proud. You know what I mean? But I think the whole, I think every tournament has some history behind that, right? And like I said, probably the 2 biggest titles that I got was that one in 2019, the Olympics of grappling, and the Worlds of the Gi that I won in 2013. I think those ones were kind of not just because the titles, but because what I went through to go through that. You know what I mean? Like mentally inside me, not just training. And I was getting to a place of my mind and concentration and focus, discipline that is not easy to get, right? It's not something that you're going to be doing every single tournament, every weekend. It's really hard. But I think I reached, a level that I truly was the best in the world, you know what I mean? And making me really proud to the process. Not just the fight was the outcome, the result, and the happening, you know what I mean? But what I went through to get there, I think that's making me really proud, you know?
Yeah. Do you think you can, so spin that question, do you think if you're mentoring, you're coaching somebody that's willing to do that work, do you think you could help them get to that level? Like, do you think it's something that
100%.
can be coached? So when you say that, give us a little more insight into that. Like, is that you're doing everything in your power to become the champ of this tournament? You're visualizing at night. Like, what are things that you did looking back? You're like, I was locked in.
I think the discipline, paying the price, you know what I mean? Going through visualizing. I was always a visualize guy, you know what I mean? I was always seeing myself in the spots. And I'm kind of quiet guy, almost like Sean. You see Sean the fight day.
Yeah.
He'll sit down there, put his music. I'm like that too, you know what I mean? I don't like to talk much. I just like start to visualize, picture myself. One guy, that guy, other guy, what am I gonna do? You know what I mean? And like I said, I think the whole discipline going through those moments, and then all different situations that happen in between that I experienced, I think I could help because I know the one, and because whenever people go in there, I probably pass it. I already experienced that before. Of course, each case is different, but I think I would have answers to to anyone coming to me, hey, I'm going through that now, and I say, yeah, man, I've been there before. I can help you. You know what I mean? But I think what it would ending up going is to your effort that you're going to be putting there, because a lot of days I didn't want to go. I didn't want to go to my strength condition. I didn't want to go to my jiu-jitsu session, or I didn't want to eating the chicken that way, or blah blah blah. You know what I mean? But I did.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And again, it's a better. You need to picture be able to picture the future and see that it's gonna be worthy, and then we're gonna pass to ups and downs on the journey. Then just need to face it, and not.
Yeah.
A lot of people they trying to hide. No, I do that. I deal with that later, and then later you don't have time. And then that's gonna be your way when you see it. Say, oh yeah, I need to skip the workout. I need to do this. So
yeah. What about the most proud of in your life?
You gotta say my family.
Yeah.
I think I'm a family guy, and that's something that I was always want to have in my life. I always had one like a healthy family, a wife, and a kid in my life. I was pictured there. And they wanted to not just have that, to have it. I wanted to be involved in participating. We hang out together, do things together. And then for the time of my life, I was not expecting to happen. I said, well, maybe it's not gonna happen. And then that's when God do the things His way. And then I met a great woman, and then we started to dating, and didn't have many expectations to what's gonna happen. And said, well, let's see. And then we just fell in love. And then when you see where you are getting married, and then a son came, and we just got blessed every single time. So I'm really, I think, probably the proudest moment of my life is the family that I built, the environment that we have around the house, and I mean, I'm a Christian guy, and then and I truly believe that God put us together, and that's the number one thing that we do in our house. And I mean, we preach the gospel, we worship together, and things keeping happening in my life.
Yeah, you want to keep the faith that you're right where you're supposed to be.
Yes,
right?
yes. I mean, if it was not meant to be, I think would be ending before. Like I said, I trust God, and sometimes things happen in our life, you don't know why. You don't know. Oh, I don't want to lose Jesus. I don't want to lose that. I don't want to lose that tournament. I don't want to lose that person. Or it's always you, but
it's not about you.
It's
you
not
can't
about
question the why.
Exactly. And then when you see God say, "Hey, relax, boy. I have the best for you,"
Yep.
And then here you go. When you see that later on, I said, "Yeah, man, I understand it now." I have a big example of that when me getting back the time now, the tournaments. 2011 Abu Dhabi, that's when I'm saying, like, my first world title. I beat the world champion, the guy who was the world champion, my first big ass world title. Everybody said, look to me, oh my God, that guy he's in the mix, he's really good. And then that was June, right? I was actually was May. So one of the best in the world right there. End of the year, November, I got hurt and have a hernia in my neck, exploded, touched my spinal cord, need to do surgery. Doctor came to me and said, man, you're never going to train anymore. You're done jiu-jitsu, which a lot of luck you're going to be able to teach. But competing, forget about that, right? So the day that I got hurt to the day that I did the surgery is 10 days apart. So I went to one of the best moments of my life, to being the number one guy in the world, to not being able to train anymore. Done. And then I couldn't accept that. It was like, man, I can't believe it. No, man, that's not possible. That's my life. And then I said, well, there's nothing you can do. I mean, that's, you're going to do the surgery, and then you're going to go to the surgery. You're going to be okay, but not training. I said, fuck. And then I did the surgery, or I was in a lot of pain. I had to do the surgery. I didn't have an option. Did the surgery. I have a titanium plate on my neck, 4 screws. And then, like I said, fast and forward, that was the end of 2011. Whole 2012, I didn't train, didn't compete, didn't train, nothing. And the actual not whole 2012 is, around, let's say, June or July, I started feeling good. I said, man, I feel that I can train. I feel that I can do it. You know what I mean? And then, but in my mind, I was thinking, man, I just took almost like a year off now. I was in the best position of my life in terms of competition. I was the man. And now I haven't trained in 8 months. For sure, the other guys that were close to me, they already passed me. I need to work harder again to get back there. I don't know if I can train or not. So a lot of thoughts in my mind. I didn't know if I could. A lot of questions. Why this? Why that? And that's one of the times that it brought me close to God, because I started asking a lot of stuff and then I didn't know why. And then I talked to my doctor. And he said, well, go training, but training really light. Don't. If you feel good, try. And then again, that was in the period of my life that I moved to the United States. So I had the surgery in Brazil. A month later, I moved to the United States. So everything happened at the same time, and I started training. I started feeling good, be cautious, but good. And then I felt in my heart that I can compete. I said, I know I can do it. And that's when the whole transition happened to find the MMA lab, because I need to have a new training. Went to MMA lab, started training with the guys. In the end of the year, exactly end of 2012, exactly 1 year after my surgery, that's when I won the first no-gi world title. And I beat 2 former champions on that tournament.
1 year after surgery?
1 year after the surgery.
Wow, yeah.
And then 6 months.
And you're out for 8 months.
8 to 9 months, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And then 6 months later, entering 2013, I went to compete the gi again, or the Worlds of the gi. That's when I won the 2 guys that I told you, the guys who were both Hall of Fame, they both many times world champions. The guy that I had beat a year ago, right? He in 2012, I didn't compete the Worlds. He won the Worlds, right? So in 2013, again, but I knew it when you got there to the tournament, and then again, I went to the tournament knowing that it was going to be my last tournament, because I was going to MMA after. But I had passing a year without training, not without training, a year off because of the injury, right? But I mean, a lot of emotions going through my life. But I got there in Long Beach on the tournament. I knew, I said, man, winning or losing, I'm prepared to that tournament right now. You know what I mean, that's one of the greatest things in my life for sure, because I passed mentally, and not just physically, technically, jiu-jitsu, but like mentally inside me, all the demos that are come to my mind that I have to do to the year that I was, off, listening that I'm not going to train anymore, and believing I can, I will, I'm going to go do this and that. So I think that prepared me, the whole year prepared me for that moment.
Right? What was the lowest you got during that? I mean, there were moments where you were probably pretty low.
Yeah. No, I was, probably depressed, crying many times. I imagine, it was my whole life, doing jiu-jitsu, and
you just win. You're at the high.
Yeah,
I told you can't do it anymore.
I had the ups and downs, winning, lose, but when you reach to the black belt and I was winning, I was the champion. That was the best that I could get, and I just need to doing few more tournaments like that, winning few more. I knew I was going to fight the same guys again, but I knew I could beat them. I literally just beat them. But I got hurt and I was forced to not do it. And then, now I understand that it was important to me to go through that, because mentally I was not as strong as I was after. Right? I was stronger. I had some stuff there, but even the fight that I won 2011 with the guy, I had some good moments and bad moments and different thoughts. I end up winning, you know what I mean? But like I said, I knew it. If I need to beat that guy again, I need to get better. And one of the things that I truly believe that I need to do was get strong mentally, because the whole process in 2012, that without competing until the tournament in 2013, when I got there, I knew it. I remember waiting to the final, looking across the ring, watching him aside. He looked at me. We stared at each other. Right there, and he said, I'm gonna win. That guy's not gonna beat me. I went through a hard way to get here. I don't know what he went through. I don't know how is he trained. I don't know how much he wants, but I know what I want. I know how much I was waiting for that moment. You know what I mean? And then I got a real, lower and dark place during the moments that was harder, but I never lost my confidence that I was going to get there. And like I said, I think, you know what I mean? Sometimes we have the moments that we don't know what things happen. That's what you're saying. But I think I had to go to that moment, you know what I mean? To appreciate life, appreciate, everything that is go around and in my life, in my training. And, the moment that it was in living in the United States and no money. And I had to understand and be appreciating for everything, you know what I mean? For your health, you know? And, and I was able to get it so strong mentally that, like I said, nothing could stop me that day for sure.
Yeah. I didn't know that. That's cool, man.
Yeah.
We definitely, when you look back and you reflect, it's almost always the difficult times that facilitate the most growth, right? The struggles, like you really do. If you can weather it, if you have faith, you learn the most in those situations. In my life, in your life, and I know and in that sense, you try to be grateful for those moments. It's hard sometimes, but
100%.
Yeah, it's hard.
100%.
Yeah.
I literally, that's exactly what happened to me. Like I have a first year, I was angry and I couldn't understand why, and it started to be like sad and went to depression and crying, and like I said, and then it started to I have to face it. I cannot be hiding under the room anymore, I cannot be crying and asking. I said, well, and then, like I said, that's one of the moments in my life that I started seeking more God and then literally try to hear answers, and then that was happening, I started to slowly feeling some kind of thing push me to, go to the gym, go to workout, go to a physical therapy, don't be here anymore. And you know what I mean? And I started to doing those stuff, and then I started feeling good, and then I started having that feeling and fighting inside me. I said, fuck, I feel that I can fight again. And going against what the doctor told me, I said, fuck, maybe the doctor don't know everything. Maybe, fuck, who knows? I know it's tough, and it's crazy to think that everything happened. I had just one title before, one big title that was the one in Abu Dhabi. And then after that surgery, that's when I won all my other 5 world titles. I went to MMA, I fought in the UFC, and then made like a career after like a big major injury that, the doctor told me that I couldn't even train anymore,
Yeah.
So it's crazy.
Yeah. Never give up, man.
Yeah.
Well, shoot, boys, we like 90 minutes into this, man. Fleek's expensive, so. But I think that's a good place to end, man. It's again, brother, I appreciate you coming on, and
thank you.
So much value in those conversations, and it's cool to hear that. Yeah, keep fighting. Don't give up.
Yeah.
Have some faith.
Life is not easy, right?
Yeah.
We don't have an option.
It shouldn't be.
Shouldn't be. You know what I mean? We come here, and then we're gonna go to some hardships, and then we need to face it. I think we're all born as a fighter, without need to go in the cage.
Yeah.
We are fighting to the life, and then we need to fight for our life in terms of what is better for you, for your life, for your family, and never giving up, So I appreciate you, Brandon, again.
Yes, sir.
So much, man.
Well, hey, tell people too.
you,
Let's see,
bro.
your obviously your social media, but then your gym.
Yeah, well, my gym is here in Tempe, Arizona, right? The Soul Fight headquarters. Everyone can go there, do like a trial class, free trial class, check out the place.
Yeah.
It'd be good to connect with you guys, and then be able to share a little bit more about my passion for jiu-jitsu, and help guide you guys through the sport,
Yeah, and then social media.
You can find me on Instagram, Tanquinho JJ, so TANQUINHOJJ.
Yeah.
So you guys can send me a message too, and I do my best to reply everybody. And sometimes it's hard, but I have a lot of people there. I mean, not Sean. I'm not.
Hey, that's
not
the
super
thing, man.
Sean, but I get a lot of people.
Yeah, who knows? We might with these conversations. I mean, you never know who this is gonna touch.
Yeah,
that's why we
yes,
do
sir.
this. Is it's fun to connect like this. I mean, to have 90 minutes with, with somebody, multiple time world champion that's fought in the UFC, and there's so much value in that. So, yeah, we appreciate anybody that hears it. Right? If you guys like this, please, share, comment, subscribe. We're doing this. We're not making any money doing this, so we're just trying to have cool conversations. Not yet. Trying to have cool conversations with good people.
Yeah.
For me, the higher human brand is you guys. It's like you represent that. DJ represents that. So it's about growth. It's about we're all fighters, right? We're leaning into everything, and tomorrow's a new day.
Yes,
So
sir.
I appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
Sure, true.
All right, Fleek.
Blake is the man.
Yeah.
Nice.
Thank
That's
you.
cool. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's fast. It was 90 minutes.
Yeah.